Okay, thanks. Bye. Hi everyone. It seems that everyone is talking about the real estate market lately. We've all heard how homes are selling above list price due to multiple offer scenarios. In order to make an offer more competitive, many buyers are getting their financing secured in advance and passing up on the home inspections so that their offer has fewer or no conditions at all. My feeling has always been that when making a large purchase such as a home, you want to make sure you know what you're buying. One convenient advantage about working at my Royal LePage Maximum Realty office is that we have independent in-house partners on location whenever I or any of my clients need advice or just have general questions. Such as an in-house mortgage broker, in-house lawyer, and an in-house home inspector. Okay, I'm just on my way to go meet Pat DeRico. Have a little Q&A with him. I'm here at Piccolo Forno today to meet with Pat DeRico from Above and Beyond Home Inspector to discuss ways a buyer can have a home they're interested in combed over by an inspector in advance so that they can still submit a competitive offer with the peace of mind that there will be no surprises with the home later on. I'm here with Pat DeRico from Above and Beyond Home Inspector. Pat is a full-time home inspector. I've known Pat for a few years now. Pat, there's some information out there about home inspectors I'd like you to help clear up.
Absolutely.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Although you are an independent in-house home inspector in my real estate office, do I call on you to do an inspection because I get a referral fee if I do?
You get absolutely nothing.
No, absolutely nothing. And have you ever given me any type of compensation for business?
No, I haven't.
No. As realtors, when a client asks us for help finding a home inspector, we always offer at least 3 trusted names. Pat is one of the consultants on my directory of trusted professionals. One concern some buyers have is that home inspectors only get referred more business by realtors if they pass the homes they inspect. How would you respond to this school of thought?
Okay, homes don't actually pass. The buyer has to be comfortable with any issues that are in a home. So it really doesn't matter who the agent is. It depends on the home, what the issues are, and if the customer is comfortable with it. The agent that refers me is going to have no relevance as to whether a home has an issue or not. It's really an independent situation based on the home that's being inspected.
Yeah, and also, if a realtor were to refer a buyer to you, which is their client, that client would now become your client.
Absolutely.
And you'd have obligations to take care of that client.
And that's happened many times where a realtor might be in a certain part of the city. They're happy with the services that I provided and I get a referral from one of their relatives. So I take everything into consideration, but most importantly, it's the liability. It doesn't matter who the agent's going to be that's referring me. It really depends on the home and if the customer's happy.
Okay. I trust Pat because he is thorough. Pat was a realtor and understands the importance of service. And more importantly, being a former realtor, he understands the emotions involved for a buyer going through the purchasing process, and he's great at explaining in layman terms all the components of a home and how some issues that may seem scary can easily be remedied. Now, many buyers mistakenly believe that a friend or a relative well-versed in construction is just as qualified to inspect a home for them. What certifications do you have that better qualify you to inspect a home?
For starters, it would be the fact that I've done over 1,000 inspections. I've done homes for engineers, I've done homes for electricians, plumbers. We have a different eye. A home inspector looks at a home a lot differently than somebody that's building it or trying to fix the structure. We're there to simply look at any issues that are there. Our eyes are trained to do that specifically. So we have a different eye than, let's say, an engineer, a plumber, electrician. There's too many facets involved in a home that an electrician could pick up on the heating and the roof and the attic and the foundation, the grading. There's so many different variables in a home that one trade could never be able to do what a home inspector is trained to do.
Yeah, so basically Uncle Tony the plumber would only be able to tell you what's going on with the plumbing, but then he wouldn't even be able to tell if there's a leak behind the walls or moisture issues and further in-depth stuff like that, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Many times buyers think that they can tell if a home has any issues by checking the windows, roof, and foundation themselves during the home viewing. But buyers won't be able to inspect the furnace, the electrical, the attic, or identify mold or moisture issues that are not obvious at first glance. Now, what sort of tools and equipment do you use when required that a friend or relative of a buyer wouldn't have?
Again, I'll repeat the experience, but more than that, the infrared camera. We have tools to check the electrical. We have tools to check the roof, which is the eagle eye. And very simply what that is a camera that's able to go up high enough to check the top of the roof. While I'm standing on solid ground, I'm able to see what's going on the roof. In fact, a client could be standing right beside me, and most of the time that's what clients like to do, so they see it for themselves. And if there are any issues, they see what they are, whether they're minor or major.
Okay. And you have also the ozone machine?
I do have an ozone machine, and what that machine does is it neutralizes the air, and what it does is it actually changes the molecules in the air, so that if there was any odor of pets, smoke, sometimes when somebody is elderly or in the home, get that certain odor in the home, what it does is it actually removes it from it removes it from the home.
Okay, good stuff. So Uncle Tony the plumber again wouldn't have these type of
More than
tools on
likely
hand,
not,
right?
no.
Okay. Home inspectors really are worth their salt when it comes to identifying things like water penetration, elevated radon gas levels, attic issues such as poor insulation, rodents or mold, or finding things that could affect how difficult they may be to obtain home insurance like aluminum or knob and tube wiring and Kitech plumbing. Don't know what Kitech plumbing is? Your home inspector does. Many buyers in today's market believe that there's no time for them to get a home inspection done, just because they're afraid that if they do put a condition for the inspection or try and get the inspection the day they see it, they won't have time and they'll lose the home to another buyer. What can you suggest these buyers do in this unchecked seller's market?
Definitely the traditional home inspection where I come in, do the full inspection, do a report, but that takes time to get the report completed, and most of the time in this market we don't have the time for that. So you have the option of either a full inspection without the report, or what's been very, very popular lately is a walk and talk, where we go and we check the major issues in the home, such as the attic, the grading, foundation, electrical, plumbing. It just gives you an idea if there are going to be any major expenses involved if everything goes through with purchasing the home.
Okay, this way the buyer's not going in there with their eyes closed or blindfolded, and they're still getting the major components of the house checked.
It gives you that confidence that now you're not looking at something where somebody has tried to hide anything. I still bring most of the tools that I would normally bring. Time factor involved, because normally there's an hour and a half. But absolutely, it'll give you a good idea of the roof condition, the foundation, and that's basically the envelope of the home. So you're getting a good idea of any major components of the house being in good condition.
Yeah, and most times when a realtor books the appointment for the viewing, they usually are in 1 hour. They can do an hour and a half. You know, they'll communicate with the inspector how much time they would need to do this inspection, and they'd work together to get that done for the buyer.
And a lot of times what we'll do is if the appointment is set for 1 o'clock, I'll show up to around 12:30, so I get a head start on the outside. It doesn't disturb the owners, but it gives me a good idea of what's going on the outside of the home. So you've pretty well gotten most of it covered.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Well, listen, thank you very much for your tips, Pat.
Thank you, Fabio.
Okay, talk to you later. Il Piccolo Forno, the greatest cannoli in town.
And the cookies are fantastic.
Many inspectors believe that even new homes should be inspected. Certain builders only go by a minimum standard to pass building code regulations. You want to know where your home rates with building materials and workmanship. Also, you may want your home inspected before your carry-on warranty expiry dates come up so that you can include items that you may miss, but your inspector can point out for you. One of the reasons that I enjoy attending a home inspection with my buyers is because I myself learn about factors that can affect the home. And being a homeowner myself, this knowledge is very useful to me. Many homeowners occupy their home without being aware of what areas of the home require regular maintenance. Hiring a home inspector to perform a house checkup every 5 years or so is a great way to educate yourself on home maintenance and identify issues at hand before the damage can become more costly. You may even want to discuss adding a home energy report to the checkup. In my opinion, this is the best authentic Italian pizza in Bonn. A home inspection is a very detailed look at all of the home's components. We should always remember that although you may be positioning yourself to buy the house being inspected, the inspection is still taking place in someone else's home. Also, we don't want to make the home inspection turn into a family reunion. Only the buyer should be present so that both the buyer's and the inspector's full attention is on the task at hand. I hope Pat and I provided you with helpful real estate information today.